about your plans with Vinod. So everybody at some point of time has made some mistake, correct? Do we all agree?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so all
Yes,
these
ma'am.
three parties, somewhere by either not facilitating that meeting, or by not being transparent, or by not seeking information from their respective heads, are somewhere coming to a conclusion that that information breach or that communication breach that has happened between them, right, whereby information is available but it's not properly transmitted, it's not properly reaching the person it is intended to meet, it is not serving the purpose. Therefore Kamla, despite having the best intentions for Vinod, has finally failed, right? Okay, so who is at fault, we've understood. So now tell me, having understood all this, from this entire case, to which concepts of HRM can you correlate this case? Tell me, which all aspects of HRM have you touched upon in this one case?
Succession planning.
Succession planning, okay, in a very, very small way, succession planning, only if the person who's going to leave in the next 2 years and Vinod has to come over in that. Okay, succession planning. I'm not saying no, yes, but we're touching upon it very subtly, okay, making a passing reference. Okay, what other concepts?
Grievance, ma'am.
Okay, employee grievance handling. Okay, do you have a proper grievance handling mechanism? Do you have a proper appeal policy? Do you have a system where you can seek and receive information as and when you need it? Do you have that kind of an open door policy to meet higher ups and get information? All that is under question. Correct, very good. Grievance policies, all right.
Internal transfers.
Internal transfers. Uh, okay. Internal transfer is again a matter of HR policy. Okay, so we are touching upon HR policy making and policy decisions here rather than just internal transfers. Internal transfers is not a concept of HR.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, but yes, we are touching upon HR policies, which is one of the concepts, HR practices, which is one of the concepts, and one of those policies could be based on transfer. Okay, fine. Then what else? Okay, I'm stopping my share because we have 3 questions only in this. Yes. Tell me.
Communication and transparency.
Communication and transparency, excellent. Okay, because in a large number of organizations, what finally fails is communication, right? Because you might have the best of employees that you've hired, you've got them on the job, you've oriented them so well, training, right? Which you'll, maybe it was still, to be said by somebody. This person, Vinod, was trained so much, sent for so many courses, sent for so many on the job trainings. So he's been trained also well. But at the end of the day, if he has resigned, communication was what failed, right? So yes, communication, transparency in communication. What else? Which other concepts have we touched upon?
Employee
Skip.
satisfaction.
Employee satisfaction. Yes. Okay. Ultimately, what does the employee want? Okay. Employee satisfaction, which should of course be a win-win situation. Okay, for the organization as well as for the employee. It cannot be always like trying to please the employee. It should be something with the organizational benefit at its heart.
Performance appraisal and reward systems.
Appraisal and reward systems. There is no question of appraisal that we brought in over here, but yes, there is a reward system in terms of the fact that if he was actually a committed, diligent, good employee, then what's the harm in giving him what he wants? To that extent, yes, rewards. Like, why can't we give him what he's asking for? Linked somewhere to the employee satisfaction itself. Yes.
Skip
What other
level
aspect?
policy, ma'am.
What policy, dear?
Skip level policy. Employee must know that if on manager is not able to handle it, and whom can be it reached next level.
Yes, that's what I told you about the appeal process, right? So if it's not sorted at the first level, then whom can he appeal to? Who is the next level of authority that I can reach out to get it solved? Okay, so yes, that is again a part of HR policy, grievance handling again, right? That if I'm not able to get the kind of response or solution from my immediate boss, then who is the next in authority to reach out to? Okay, Very good. What else? Anything else you think? Any other aspect of HR that we have touched upon in this case? Okay, one very important aspect that we've touched upon. I don't know how much of this you have done already in your theory, in your HR, but in most of the organizations today, this is, I would say, not just a challenge. This is one aspect that a lot of organizations are consciously trying to pay attention to and work on. Okay, it's called an area of talent management. Okay, so here what has happened is this organization, okay, which is Pentagon Industries, it is so large, it has, you know, established for the last 42 years, it's doing very well for itself, all things in place. The recruitment of Vinod has happened brilliantly well because they've chosen an MBA finance, he's been, you know, in the organization for 6 years, so which means he's doing very well. Obviously he's performing, therefore he's there year after year after year. The company is thinking about his career planning, his succession, everything is there. But the question is, if I have recruited the best talent, have I managed that talent well throughout its tenure in the organization? So if the company had thought about managing the talent pool, as we call all the employees with good expertise, good talent should be in the organization itself. If this was what they were looking for, then they should have thought that end of the day, if all the work and everything is going to be the same, and if Vinod will be happier, will perform better at the head office than here, I should not have a problem sending him there. Ultimately, he's an asset for the organization. Let him be with us. Right? So, talent management is about how you retain your talent within the organization. How do you ensure that talented people or talented HR do not leave the organization? So, talent management is the entire crux of this case. Okay, that having hired the best talent, having confidence in the potential of his work, has the organization taken enough effort to retain that talent? Right? Did they do enough? Did they try to harness all their opportunities, all the information? Did they try to be transparent in their communication enough to ensure that Vinod is satisfied with what he is doing and will stick on with you? Okay, so talent management and talent retention, more importantly, is what is the highlight of this case. Okay, any doubts here? Okay, so that was the case, students. So any other thoughts on this? Okay, thank you very much, Preeti. Thank
No,
you.
it was a very interesting case, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you also in your organizations must have been at either end, right? You might have either been at the HR end or you must have been at the employee end with reference to maybe cases like this, right? So next time you know that when you are right, either an employee who is requesting something from the management, or whether you are a manager and you get a similar request from the employees end, how do we tackle these things? How are we going to handle the situation? And at the end of the day, how do we ensure that the talent pool doesn't get exhausted? All right, so we have to ensure that if we are taking so much trouble in recruitment, see, what organizations fail to understand is they go helter skelter looking for the right kind of talent, right? I get the right kind of talent, then I invest some tens of thousands or lakhs and sometimes crores of rupees into training these people in customized organizational setups to handle the kind of work that you want. So when you've taken all this trouble, how can you so easily let go of these people at the end of the day and say, okay, fine, you've given in your papers, you're free to go? Any organization that lets their employees go like this is not really thinking about what is the future of their organization. Okay, because as it's, it's very commonly said, even a lot of statistics has been done on this. They say it costs only half as much to retain an employee than to go and for a fresh recruitment of another employee. Because not just do you have to start at square one again, you will have to undergo the entire process of his orientation, training, and all other investments till he is finally ready to take up the role that the earlier employee did. Right? So it's a little effort you need to retain an existing employee. So do that. All right. So employee engagement, employee satisfaction, okay, employee empowerment at some stage. These are things that the current day organization is asking for. All right. Interesting. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Such a wonderful class, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're most welcome, dear.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Sure. Thank you. Take care until we meet next week.
Good evening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.
The recording has stopped.